Hi everyone. Sorry this intro is so weird and so abrupt, but I lost the first part of my recording to this. So I'm starting just kind of in the middle of my basement building of obviously you can tell by the title this is my childhood home that I'm building, and I wanted to build this because I have a lot of emotional attachment to this house and I've been really missing it lately. Um, and yeah, I felt like maybe building this house on The Sims would give me some sense of peace, or I don't know, connection to it. But yeah, so you can see in the basement we had like a fireplace, a TV, piano, and then what I'm building currently is the basement guest room, um, which didn't really we've never really had a lot of guests in there, but um, that was kind of our computer room, I guess, because we had a computer and desk in there. So me and my sisters like to hang out in there, and then next to that, you can see there's supposed to be a laundry machine over there, but I didn't have any custom content to do that with. And we just had a bunch of storage in the back. I didn't really know how to build that in, but I tried my best. And we had this really weird door at the end of the hall that we never really used, and I don't really know why it was there. It was just to take us out to the backyard. Well, the side of the house actually, but we never used it. It was kind of really creepy actually. Our storage hall in the basement was always really dark and cement and really, really creepy. And then I'm moving up to the top floor, which this was really hard for me to build overall, just because, as you can see, my house was in the middle of a hill. We had a hill in our backyard, and it was like built into the hill, so and the basement, quote unquote, was really just the first floor, but the back half like went into the ground kind of, because the hill um started and went up into the back portion of the basement, which I tried to do my best to illustrate that, but it's really hard to do in the Sims. So yeah, I did my best, and then yeah, so my house was like a cream color. That was like the exterior of the house. Then my living room and the kitchen was this weird shade of green that used to be white, but for some reason my mom, when I was like 8, decided to color it green, and I don't know why she made that decision. It was very random, but she did it. But I lived in this house until I was 17 years old, maybe even 18. I'm 20 now. So we live in an apartment now. Well, I live in an apartment with my mom now and a new house with my dad, but we had to give up this house because it was just a lot of space, and we didn't really need it anymore since my parents split. So, yeah. So now I'm just building the living room. We had this fireplace that we never really used the fireplace in the upstairs or the downstairs. The downstairs really never. The upstairs, we just put um, candles in there instead of wood and lit the candles. I don't know why we did that. It was really weird. And then those pink chairs are actually my great mother Alice's chairs, which they're like the cutest things ever. I wish I could find a picture of them now, but I think my aunt has them now because we couldn't. My dad already had furniture for his new house, and we couldn't fit it into the apartment. So, and the layout for the living room was actually really strange. You can see like how the couches are positioned with like the fireplace, there was never a really good way to position everything. So my mom ended up just like shoving it just wherever wherever it could fit. And then over here was the dining room. We had like the prettiest chandelier. I wish I could have found a better one. But I think I tried to look for a new one, but it just doesn't really do it justice because it was like the prettiest part of the house probably, was the chandelier. And then we had in the kitchen, which I'm building now, we didn't really have doors. We had sliding doors for these, and we had one that came into the dining room, and the other went into the hallway, near the living room where you can kind of see. Yeah, so we would like my sisters and I would run around, run around these, like around through the doors into the living room, into the dining room, and through the kitchen. It was actually really funny, and my mom would get mad at us for doing that because we usually ended up slipping and falling and hurting ourselves. But the kitchen was actually probably the hardest part to build just because I feel like I didn't have enough space, and I didn't, with like the chairs and everything, I didn't really know how to position it. It wasn't normally, the dining or the kitchen table wasn't normally set like that. It was near the dishwasher, which I'm trying to place right now. But there wasn't enough room, and I don't know. There were some parts about building this house that was just like it didn't fit with reality, I guess. Like it didn't really work in The Sims, so I tried my best though. And then next, I'm building the upstairs bathroom, which I think was actually my favorite part of my old house. I have a lot of memories of being in this small bathroom with my sisters and I and my mom. And I took many a bath in that bathtub, and I don't know, I just thought it was like the prettiest room too because it was decorated like a seashell theme. I don't know, it was really pretty. I always liked it. And the window, there was a window between the toilet and the bathtub, and you could see into the backyard, which was really pretty in any of the seasons, especially the summer, just because you could kind of like see the trees, and it just made me really happy, and like thinking about it makes me nostalgic. But now I'm building my mom's room, which was my parents' room, but it ended up being my mom's room, which was just about the boringest um, room part of building this house because I didn't spend a lot of time in my mom's room, and her room, once my dad moved out, was always a mess. It was so messy all the time, and there wasn't really much to it other than um, having like bedside tables and a dresser, and that was pretty much it. And then I quickly built, part of, to the right, it was one of my sister's bedroom, which was also pretty boring. There was also a closet, but I didn't have room to build that in. There's also another closet in the bunk bedroom was where me and my sister slept. And I just couldn't fit room in for a closet, so I don't know. Yeah. I tried my best though to make it as realistic as I could. We still have the bunk beds in my mom's apartment, so that's one thing and my other sister's bed. So that's some things that stuck with us through, to the apartments. We still have the same dressers, which I actually despise my dresser. It's a lot worse than the one I picked on The Sims. It's crusty and old and gross, but we're just gonna pretend that it's fine. Um, and what else about my house? The backyard, I don't really get to go into building it as much on The Sims 4 because the options are kind of limited, but we had like it was really weird. It came down in the back, down a steep hill, then it flattened out for a little bit, and then it went down again. It was really weird. And we had a playground back there with a swing set and a slide. We had a sandbox. Um, what else? My mom had this really, she loved to garden. She doesn't get to as much now because we live in an apartment, but she had flowers freaking everywhere. And in the summer, one of my sisters and I's chores that we got to fight over all the time was who had to water the flowers. And so she had it all around the exterior of the house, and then also on the hill there was a little gardening spot that she had. So that was, I mean, the garden was really pretty, but I kind of hated it because of the chores that I had to do with it. Yeah, what else? My bedroom that my sister and I shared with the bunk bed had this gross washed uh, gray blue carpet that was like really bad carpet, and and then we also had yellow wallpaper, and it was a really, really gross combination, but that is what my parents chose for us. So some clips cut out, but this is the end of the video, and I really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!